Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into an organization from India called Purush Adhikar Manch Bihar. To really get what they're all about, we're going straight to the source, breaking down their mission and ideology based completely on their own documents.
So, what's at the heart of their message? Well, it really boils down to this one slogan: justice for all, men are also human. It's a simple phrase, but it's the foundation for their entire platform. So let's unpack what that really means to them.
All right, so here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the why, the challenges they claim men are facing. Then, we'll get into who they are and what they're trying to achieve. And finally, we'll explore their ultimate vision for what they call a balanced society.
Okay, so let's kick things off with the why behind this whole organization. Their documents spell out some very specific challenges they believe men are up against in modern society, and this forms the entire basis for their existence.
This really begs the question, right? According to their own literature, what are these specific issues and injustices that they believe make a men's rights forum so necessary in the first place?
So they highlight these 5 key areas. They point to what they describe as false legal cases, a one-sided approach in family disputes, immense mental pressure on men at work, a general disregard for a father's rights, and a broad societal neglect of men's mental health.
All right, so with those problems laid out, how does this forum present itself as the answer? Let's take a look at how they actually define their organization.
In direct response to those issues we just saw, they describe themselves as a social, ideological, and public welfare group. Their whole aim? To protect the legal, social, mental, and family rights of men, which, they argue, are under threat.
And they're really clear on this point in their writing. They state that this isn't about being against any particular group or gender. Instead, they frame their entire mission as a quest for these big universal principles: justice, equality, and human dignity for everyone.
Okay, so we know who they are. Now let's get into their core ideology. This is where we really start to understand their specific objectives and what they're truly trying to accomplish.
Now, this is really interesting. They set up this contrast, right? On one side, you've got their goal, what they call the true form of equality, where everyone, men and women, get equal vision, opportunity, and justice. But on the other side, they point to what they see as the problem: social imbalance. And they claim this imbalance is created when one side gets too many privileges while the other is neglected.
So that ideology then gets broken down into some very specific objectives. You've got the practical stuff, like spreading awareness about men's legal rights and directly supporting guys who are dealing with false cases. But then there are these bigger, broader goals, like protecting men's mental health and ultimately trying to create what they call a true and balanced form of gender equality. Okay, so those are the goals. But how do they actually plan to achieve them? What does this look like in the real world? Let's get into their field of work.
They lay out a pretty clear 5-step approach. It starts with education, running legal awareness campaigns. Then there's direct support through counseling centers. They also try to shape the public conversation with seminars and dialogues. And they're looking at the long game too, with things like youth empowerment and initiatives to keep families together.
All right, so let's bring it all together and look at the finish line. What's the ultimate vision here? According to their documents, what kind of society are they working towards?
This table from their documents really lays it out nicely. It separates their big picture vision from their day-to-day mission. So the vision is the what? A society where, for example, justice isn't about gender, it's about truth. And the mission is the how, things like giving men's voices a platform and trying to shift social thinking.
And this next quote really ties their whole philosophy together. They state, "A balanced man can build a strong family, and strong families build a powerful society." You can see how they connect the well-being of an individual man all the way up to the strength of the entire nation.
And we're going to end on this final, pretty provocative slogan they use: "The man is not the criminal. Injustice is the real culprit." It's a powerful statement that really captures a core part of their message, doesn't it? It shifts the blame from the individual to what they see as a flawed system. And that really leaves us to think about the arguments they've presented.